It's Wednesday afternoon, and you know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk, Saga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of Ringside Heat here on this radio station, on your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube. And you can always follow the show at Ringside_Heat on all social media. Follow me at LexTan Media. It is our Royal Rumble review for this year, 2025 Royal Rumble. And wow. Just a bunch of stuff that we need to get to and talk about here today in this hour that we have here on the AM area radio airwaves here on Saga 960 and beyond. Yeah, big smiles on our faces over here. I see with the first person I'm going to be introducing because he knows how much I'm rambling right now. His name is His name is Jose Tablada. You can follow him at Tablada93. He is our director of digital content. Jose, yo.
No, I mean, look, I'm smiling because I always laugh when you stumble on your words. It's always cute. But more importantly, no, I'm smiling because we made it, fellas. It's my favorite time of the year, and everybody knows how annoying I get with this, including my friends, my family, and I do not give a damn because at least I am happy about something. The road to WrestleMania 41 is here.
Yeah.
It's underway. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm just so excited. Obviously, we're coming off a fun Royal Rumble Saturday night. Great job once again, fellas. I know, Chico, you're coming in and out. And I had a lot of fun being the ticker guy this past Saturday with the
Undertaker.
With the Undertaker, yes. The small little brackets I was making here and there. And of course, just before we continue on, congratulations once again to Lash Legend to being the first person to point at this year's WrestleMania sign. What an honor! What a privilege. To be the first point, be the first person to point this year. That honor doesn't go to everybody every year. So I hope she takes it and rides with that moving forward. But seriously,
pointing, do I get anything? No,
absolutely not. But the point is, right. It's a fun weekend. I'm excited. It's just going to be like my favorite period of the year for Ringside Heat to get in and sit back and enjoy the ride. So away we go to Las Vegas. I wish we were actually going though. Don't get me wrong, man. And kind of like to allude to what Chico was saying in our group chat the other day, that the road to WrestleMania hits a little different when it's the year after you went. And this is the second time I'm having that thought. And yeah, it hurts a lot. Chico Nougat at Coco Collects. Chico.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, let's. What up, Chico?
It's the winter doldrums, so it's some of the most depressing times of the Canadian winter. And to add to that, we're starting to see the WrestleMania sign. And like Jose was saying, alluding to what I had alluded to, we're not going to WrestleMania in Vegas. 71 days till disappointment. No. But you know what? I do enjoy watching it with full commentary. And, of course, we get the better view being viewers on streaming. It's just, there's, of course, nothing like being there in person. And for those of us who went, we now know what it feels like to be there in person. So it kind of adds even more gravitas to WrestleMania being what it is. So I'm excited that the road has begun and the Royal Rumble was, I'd say, pretty fun. We can talk about some of the feelings coming out of at least one of those matches later. But I'm, you know what? After thinking about it for a couple of days, that was a solid show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we can find out more about what you're thinking, Chico, in a sec. But let's introduce the next member of the ring crew here. He is the host of the Kenjira Cast podcast, which you can find on all streaming and podcasting devices and outlets. His name is Colin Dodge. You can follow him at Risen72, and go ahead and say hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. How's it going? Hi, guys. Kenjira Cast is out there. First 2 episodes were dropped. Third one will be at the end of this month. So last Sunday of every month will be a new episode of that. More importantly, though, the new 2025 Extra Life campaign has been launched. Again, I made terrible promises on the internet. Follow me there at Risen72. You'll see the video Jose and I made to keep me honest. That's what's happening there. Challenge has been thrown out. Yeah, it's gonna be real bad, people. But anyway, yes, I am back watching WWE, and first pay-per-view is my favorite pay-per-view. Was this my favorite Rumble? No, but we'll get into that. Otherwise, let's go. So
Yeah.
many roller coaster of emotions as usual
LFG.
with me. Yes.
LFG.
So let's start off by recapping the 4 matches that were aired at the Royal Rumble PLE on Netflix. And by the way, for all of you who are tuning in now and did tune in to our live stream last Saturday, thank you so much for being there. I believe that we've had about 200 some odd viewers as well tuning in and watching us and watching along with us. So thank you so much. That's great. And we would love to hear more from you and see more of you come out to and watch along these WWE, AEW, and in the future TNA pay-per-views and PLEs as we go along. But let's go ahead and take a look what happened.
Watch me melt down for various reasons. Yeah.
Yes. So we had So we had the first match of the night was the Women's Royal Rumble. It was Charlotte Flair who took the victory by last eliminating Roxanne Perez. And the time of the match, 1 hour and 10 minutes and 20 seconds. So Charlotte Flair is going to be contending for one of the world championships at WrestleMania 41. Then we had DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa defeating the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin 2-1 in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championship in a match that lasted 14 minutes. I felt that was like a really, really fast 2 out of 3 falls match there. Could have gone a lot longer, especially with the talent that all 4 of those guys have. But hey, that's what they gave us. It was good for what it was, but I wanted to see a lot more, personally speaking. Cody Rhodes retained his WWE Undisputed Championship against Kevin Owens in that latter match for the Undisputed Championship. And so now Cody has not just the Undisputed Championship that he won from Roman Reigns, but also that replica Winged Eagle Championship as well back in his possession. 25 minutes and 5 seconds in that match, which is a good amount of time for that match, personally speaking. And I personally also enjoyed the heck out of it, and the storytelling that they did. Amazing work by those two. And in the main event of the evening, or the final match of the evening, rather, we're all kind of main events here. Jey Uso was the winner of the 30-man Royal Rumble match, and he achieved it by eliminating the one, the only John Cena, and in a match that took 1 hour and 20 minutes and 15 seconds to complete. And that is your card for the Royal Rumble. So let's start it off over here with, as I said, with DIY. Quick match, a little bit too quick for me, personally speaking.
Obviously something was going to be the weaker match of the night. I think it was this one. Honestly, I don't know if it was because maybe I'm just, like, matches after a Rumble are tough. They are never easy to watch. This has been happening for so many years, and especially now with the addition of 2 Rumbles, it's a lot. I remember again being at the 2018 Royal Rumble, that after the men's Rumble match, which came first, which shocked everybody because the women's main event did their first ever Rumble. I think it was a match with Sheamus, and nobody cared because we were all still so hyped that Nakamura was going to WrestleMania. So it's always tough, but like said, it felt fast, and it almost to the point where I didn't even know if this needed to be 2 out of 3 falls. I really at the end of that, I kind of felt going, you could have just done this without the 2 out of 3 fall stipulation. It would have been fine, or make it maybe make it more interesting with a tornado tag or something. I think another stipulation would have been better for this match, but again, it was fine. Did I need the interference at the end with the tweener? Yes, I emphasize tweener Street Profits.
Yeah,
I don't know, because they're slowly becoming the big show of this era. It's Monday their faces, Fridays their heels. Guys, like, I don't know
really?
what they are.
I didn't realize that. Again, I'm new.
No, fair, Colin, but that's just like, they had the Hurt Business thing with Lashley, and again, that was fine, and they looked like they were heels, but then I swear midway through that program, which I think why that variant failed before the AEW revival of it, they were suddenly faces, and we didn't know what to do. They're still doing their dances, they're still getting the solo cups. Now I see this, and again, I'm going, well, which one is it? So I don't want to harp in on that, because I do want to see where everything progresses. I think that's one of my biggest flaws, I think, to really focus on that a lot. Because I remember I did that last year for Cody and The Rock, and it ended up working out to what I wanted. So, but I don't know. The interference was what it was, but yeah, I felt it could have been longer or a different stipulation, but it was fine. The right winners. That's my main takeaway. The right winner.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you on just about everything. I also thought the finish was very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
And it's partly because it's two guys who the company or whatever cannot decide what to do with, whether it's heel one day, faces the next. Yeah, Street Profits have lost just about every ounce of mojo they got left. There's nothing in the reserves. I don't care that they did what they did. I even forgot until commentary said something about how the Profits were attacked weeks ago, and that's why they felt like they needed to get some retribution. I didn't care at all. And in fact, it kind of annoyed me because I wanted, in this case, just give me the straight up 2 out of 3 falls. I mean, there's not much intrigue going into the match to me. So it fell flat. And you could also, I don't know. I don't know how live big stadium sound affects certain things. I can only say from my WrestleMania XL experience, but you could just tell the crowd was dead during that tag team match. I don't know if that was just me.
No, there's been a lot of complaints about the Indianapolis crowd as a whole. And to the
Yeah,
point where some people
SmackDown before that wasn't good.
Wasn't the best. Opinion. And I mean, to just add on, it's to the point where people are starting to wonder if WWE should honor their WrestleMania, the other two SummerSlam WrestleMania deal. I'm like, guys,
damn,
it'll be fine. And I think
Mania is different.
Petitions that'll be launched.
Yeah, I think to add on to it, it's the match that nobody cared about, and you knew what was coming next and what we were all looking forward to. And then on top of that, the other bigger thing to look forward to was just bad placement. It's just just that one match.
Yeah, and I mean, the title was retained. There was shenanigans. It felt like a match better placed on a Friday night. That's what just happened. And unfortunately, one had to be a dud out of the 4. Otherwise, I mean, still a good match. No, that's not a negative on the workers. Obviously, they did a great job doing what they usually do, which is thrill the masses. They had some pretty good
DIY confirmed.
They had some good sequences, but I mean, just the match was out of the 4, that was the one that was at the bottom.
Anything else to add, Colin?
I think it's going to be amazing, my perspective of being 3 years off WWE Island, because I really enjoyed that match. It was fun seeing DIY again. I have not seen them in forever. It was fun seeing Motor City. I've never seen them in WWE, so that was really fun to watch. So I did enjoy that. Yes, 14 minutes is not long enough for 2 out of 3 falls. A tornado tag, something like that, or even the silly if you lose, you can't challenge for the title again or so. Then they'd have to change the winner, of course, but like something like that. But 2 out of 3 falls, you're looking at least 30 minutes, I think, for it to be decent. So yeah, maybe wrong stipulation, but I mean, I had a lot of fun watching those 2 teams anyway. So one team I really missed, and one team was really nice to see in WWE. Now for Street Profits, I mean, to me, it was the most badass they ever looked. Again, I've been missing in action for 3 years, so I haven't had to go through their big show journey. So I thought they looked great. I thought this is good. Give them a good heel kind of thing, or at least finally badass. Maybe dance less, or only dance when the crowd doesn't want you to dance. Something like that. I mean, I thought they looked great. I'm like, hey, I remember them. Oh, they look awesome. So yeah. Again, but I've been off the island, so I'm back.
Yeah, fresh eyes. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, and of course, Cody retains, which we all expected to happen. And it was and what a brutal match that was. Jeez.
That was.
Hey, they had me believing that. Sorry, excuse me.
No, you start. Go.
They had me believing that KO had a chance, so that goes a long way. Like it was expected that Cody would win, and of course that's what we got. And we all really knew in the back of our minds that that's what the outcome was going to be. However, I mean, they had a couple of people out there, myself included, sometimes thinking, you know what, it would be nice for KO to get the title. And like I've said before, probably last week, it sometimes as part of the legacy of a great champion, you need a good build for certain feuds and for certain blow-off matches, payoff matches. And this was one of those where this simply adds to the greatness of the Cody reign, wherever you but it was a very, very good match. My gosh. The match itself the finish was fantastic. The Alabama Slam was unlike anything I've seen before.
Yeah.
So and then added the Sammy drama on the outside was compelling as well.
Mhm.
The Sammy portion makes me laugh because a lot of people were saying, and like I know one of my group chats was saying it. What was the point of Sammy out there? And 48 hours later, he gets murdered by Kevin Owens to close out Monday Night Raw, which I thought was perfect at the end of that. I mean, now that Sammy bit looks amazing because the fact that he didn't do anything and now it's going to lead to another, which again, always accepted, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn program. Beautiful. Yeah, that was definitely one of the best ladder matches I've seen in a while. That somehow ended up being incredible, even with an obvious result, but they did not shy away from the brutality. The blood on Kevin Owens looked intense. The Alabama Slam, like Chico said, was amazing. I'm just happy that it just delivered. And when a match has an obvious result, but it delivers and still keeps you engaged and excited, you've done your job. And they did just that. So they found a way to work around the whole, it's obviously going to be Cody to what a classic. And again, just appreciative of Kevin Owens again for what he does. That's his 5th world title match loss at a Royal Rumble. What a stat to have. Not the stat to have, but no, just incredible ladder match. That I think you brought it up, Chico. I wasn't sure the move, the one in the ring that Kevin Owens landed on the back of his head. The not the Alabama Slam, the
Fisherman
other
Buster.
Fisherman
Buster.
I knew it was something along those lines. Yeah, the Buster. Good Lord. I think me and my cousin, and my friends were all just staring at our TV going, good Christ. Like, can somebody check up on that, please? Wild. Just wild.
And it was both of the guys too in that moment, right? I mean, of course, Cody landing on the ladder and standing straight up because of the bounce back, but at the same time, KO's head like on the edge of the ladder. Crazy,
scary.
Man.
Oh yeah. And as well, I mean, like he also came out on Monday Night Raw sporting a black eye as well. So just like it was you don't usually see that. You don't see those battle scars all that much when in professional wrestling, unless it's kayfabe or if it's actually really actually a thing.
The limping, he sold it well. He sold it well for a dude that went through the ringer on Saturday. Yeah. Almost to the point where it looked like he didn't actually. Well, no, he did look like he went through the ringer, and the fact that he still wanted to carry on to attack Sammy again, he what in hindsight, at the end of the day, in kayfabe, Sammy's a terrible friend, horrendous friend, without a there's no doubt, just such a terrible friend, guys. He didn't help out his buddy. He just stood there and did nothing. Terrible.
Bad. However, as Colin would say, put Canadians in there, it makes everything better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you got to let him win every now and again, too, for the love of Pete, and not Pete Dunne. It's a stupid name. So,
I thought that was Butch.
Yeah, Butch. Yeah, don't call him Butch. Again, with my perspective, 3 years off the island, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Charlotte wins again, and they don't do the unpredictable thing, and Cody wins. And Punk has crap to deal with once again. And then 48 hours later, oh no, Kevin Owens is beating up Sami Zayn. And oh, that's right. And Roman and Seth hate each other. So all these things are not new to me. So all these things just kind of keep happening no matter how long I stop watching. So, I mean, I've had 3 years of new wrestlers, new combinations of things, new stuff. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, okay, so same things are still happening. All right, that's cool, I guess. Sure. Yeah, all right, okay. So that's
how'd you like that ladder match though, Colin? Like
the ladder match was fantastic. Again, I mean, Cody did great work no matter what company he was in. I watched him in 2 of them now. And so it was a great match. Kevin Owens always delivers. So I had a lot of fun just watching Kevin Owens, and I thought, come on, just do it. Just this once, just let him do it. And I thought, oh, Sammy's out there. They're not going to do it. So I thought, because the best way for Kevin to be heel is to win by a clean win. And then Sammy was out there. Not that Sammy cheated or anything like that, but I thought, we're going a different way. And then Monday, I thought, yes, it's going to be an incredible match, but one I've seen 8,000 times. So all the way from Ring of Honor when I first discovered Kevin Steen, and El Generico. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But again, it was a fun match. I really did enjoy it. It was a good ladder match. I don't know. Put it up in the top 10. Is it a top 10 of the ladder matches?
Interesting.
I would say I mean, that's a long list to go through, but within the last 5 years, without a doubt.
I think it's reasonable without, just top level thinking, right? I think
I'd
one of the
rather
best one-on-one ones.
one-on-one.
I think I would go there. Yeah, I think I would I would narrow the filters a little bit. I would filter out
not every match on the ladder was present, because then you got to bring in all the TLCs and all that craziness.
Yeah.
So
but I think
just one-on-one ladder match. Yeah.
But I think within the last 5 years, I can't think of another ladder match that was as good as that. Or again, maybe recency bias, probably, and I had to again do a little bit of digging. But it's regardless, wherever you have it, fantastic.
Yeah, great. Really enjoyed it.
Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM. We're going to take our first break here. When we come back, we will talk about the Royal Rumble, the women's and men's Royal Rumbles, as well as the winners, and just our own particular highlights. And we'll get into the discussion about what happened with Penta and our perspectives on that when we come back with more wrestling talk on Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM.
Under all the lights, with only everyone, he's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, Lex Tan alongside Jose Tabuada, Colin Dodge, and somehow Chico Nougat, because he's having some sort of connection problems with his internet at the moment. But
the internet gremlins are attacking his fiber optic, whatever he's got.
I don't think it's even fiber optics at this point.
Well, I didn't want to say.
I have no idea what it is. I'm sorry.
He sounds good now.
Now he sounds good. Okay, say his name and he appears. All right, but I
believe in his ISP.
Hey, speaking of which, Joe Hendry making his way and making his Royal Rumble debut with the TNA Championship for the Men's Royal Rumble. Lots of fun surprises in both Rumbles. One of the things that I was actually quite surprised about was Roxanne Perez entering at number 3 and lasting until the very end, until Charlotte decided to say, okay, you know what, I'm the queen, and so Alexa Bliss coming back. I don't know. I don't know how much of her involvement's going to be, but she moves right. She looks like she never left, and everybody just popped and just loved the fact that she has made a return to the WWE ring.
I guess we'll start with the Women's Rumble. I guess we'll start there. I think the pop of the night, if not Joe Hendry's the close second, if not, but it's a tie between them. I cannot believe that none of us said Alexa last week. When I saw her come out, I said, how did none of us call that? And I
just thought she was still injured, so didn't even think about it. Didn't even cross my mind.
She was never injured. It was maternity leave.
Oh
no. Part of it was
okay.
injury. Yeah, part of it.
But no, it was we were so focused on AJ Lee, which I've said this last week and I'll say it now. We're never gonna see her.
No, I don't think so.
If she didn't show up, which is
that would have blown the roof off, but yeah,
it would have. But no, Alexa Surprise was so welcoming at number 21. Just well done, and the beautiful shot from Michael Cole and Wade Barrett about the dirt sheets was just fantastic.
Yes.
Well,
I think I missed that. What'd they say?
Michael Cole was saying, I thought the internet said she was never going to come back, and
yes.
Wade Barrett said, stop reading the dirt sheets. I'm like, wow.
Nice. Good for them. Excellent.
It was fantastic. Look, I get why Charlotte's your winner. I do. It's the 14-time women's champion. She's literally almost up to her dad. And yes, there's a star power and the aura to her that
Not according to Raw.
well, I was gonna get there. But I can see why WWE lean towards it. It's the female John Cena of that time, and I know a lot of people hated the PG era John Cena. Would I have given her this win? No, because I do genuinely believe that I would have been more comfortable seeing a Charlotte win at Elimination Chamber in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like announcing a return. Honestly, no matter what, even if it was a surprise return, it still would have got the same reaction. Somebody had to be the first 2-time women's Royal Rumble winner. Made sense for her.
It's true.
I was a little bit surprised at some of the other names that we didn't see, like Becky. I was waiting for a Becky, but we didn't get Becky.
Love Becky.
And I'll say this as this is like kind of like my main takeaway from the Women's Rumble. I am fine with Nikki Bella's appearance, but the wrong position. She's not your number 30.
Yeah.
She wasn't. If you swap her with Alexa, everybody wouldn't have booed. Nobody would have booed Nikki Bella. Nobody would have been groaning. I know. Yeah. Yes, there are Nikki Bella fans. I've seen videos on social media, people going nuts for Nikki Bella's return. That's fine. Again, it was cool. You know what? After what she's been through in the real world, what a great way to show that yes, she is still strong. She is still kicking and still moving forward. That's great. That I was humbled to see. But okay, from the wrestling aspect, it wasn't the right 30. We were waiting for somebody so much bigger, and for somebody who, we knew was going to be eliminated. What's the point? Do I agree with the Final Four appearance for Nikki either? No, I don't think she should have been in the Final Four.
For sure. Alexa Bliss should have been like in there way longer. Should have probably had Nikki's time and Nikki's spot as well. I would have. I mean, like if I would have put Nikki anywhere else other than in the number 21 spot with Alexa, I'd probably I'd probably switch her with maybe I don't know, maybe a Bianca Belair who came in at number 10.
Yeah, I think if we had to plan out your Rumble structures and appearances, those kind of surprises, and again, we'll talk about this in a minute because it did happen. Within the first 10 is fine because you can forget about it quick because you still have another 20 entrants to go.
Yeah.
So I think between 1 and 10 would have been a comfortable spot for Nikki. But again, no matter where she ends up, as long as it wasn't 30, Trish Stratus at 25, perfect. Because it made sense, and that's the real queen. Come on, fellas, here we go.
Oh, of course.
Also
because it's Trish's 25th anniversary of her career. So
is it?
That's why it's 25.
That's cool.
That makes so much sense. But regardless,
and it said it on her gear 2-5. Like if you look closely,
I didn't even realize. Thank you. No, I did not realize that. I was just happy to see my queen. But again, like it's the Rumble was fine. I think it was shaping up to be really nice. But I think once you had your obvious winner of Charlotte, then okay, it kind of took me out a little bit because you knew where it was going. But had I seen Roxanne swerve us like we saw in the men's, I think I would have said this was the best women's Rumble had that happened. But it didn't. So
hey man, I would have even put okay, let me backtrack here. I agree. Nikki should not have been number 30. I would have even put Charlotte there to push the heel side even more. Because honestly, I think she would have been okay. She got more cheers than I thought she would when she went in. And when she won, I was expecting more of a chorus of boos. Of course, it happened at Raw, but I was expecting more greatness hate to be obvious at her return. And they're pushing her like a rich snob. So I was expecting worse for her, but hey, she got the admiration and the respect, and then the booing did not come until Monday. But yeah, I would have given 30 to Charlotte, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that completely too. I kind of felt finally what Jose feels like when he watches an AEW match with pay-per-view with me, and he's like, "Who's that?" Oh, who's that? And I'm explaining who these people are because that's what poor Lex and Chico had to do. I'm like, oh, who's that? Who's that? Okay, I don't know who that is. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Okay. Hey, I know her. Oh, she's out. Okay. Alexa, great. I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh, Charlotte, of course. There's your winner. I'm like, Nikki Bella, what the hell? And so, like that was kind of really just a summed up quick version of what you saw me do on the live stream, if you happen to watch that as well. Yeah, go ahead.
For what it's worth, I was saying that myself during the men's rumble. When Finn's music hit, I was going, who is this? Who is this?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Let's do a little bit on music when we get to the match.
I saw him. I'm like, who is this? And then Finn came out. I'm like, oh. Yeah. And he didn't get the pop that he should have got. Yeah.
Talk about what not to debut in a rumble is new music, because then it's like, who is that?
That wasn't even new. It
wasn't new. It
wasn't new.
But,
no.
But yes, the takeaway from both rumbles, and it happened at last year's Royal Rumble in Tampa Bay. Once again, the music burned everybody in the sense of like, who the hell are these people? Once again, you have music that we have no idea who comes out until they come out of the tunnel, and then we start cheering. That shouldn't happen.
And the funny, I think I said,
yeah. Sorry. Sorry, Colin. What was that, Colin?
I was just going to say they're trying to recapture AJ's debut when we weren't sure what his music was until he walked out, right? But that's a completely different thing, because if you're AJ Styles, that actually doesn't matter what your music is.
Now, I think I commented in our thread that I said I watched the Women's Rumble. I think I got into it a little later than you guys. I think I commented something like, I feel like I've just listened to the same song for many superstars. Yes. During the course of the Rumble match. I messaged that at some point, and it happened, like Jose said, during both Rumble matches. So that is an unfortunate consequence of, I don't know. I mean, we've dogged Def Rebel time and again here, lack of creativity on their part. I don't know.
They just copy and pasted a lot of the generic music from 2K creator wrestlers, so I think that's what happened there. Some files got crossed, and so everybody gets the same kind of music.
And you know what I've also noticed as well is that over the past few years, and yes, I know that that I also defend when Def Rebel does something good, it's actually really good, but a lot of the bigger pops for the music and the music that people do recognize is actually more and more the CFOS era of WWE music, and it's and that's starting to get a little bit crazy for me now, because it's because we all grew up at a time where it's Jim Johnston was king, and Jimmy Hart was a very close second, but Jim Johnston was the guy, and you knew all of his music. Now most of the stuff that we popped for was CFOS music, and it was and that's starting to like blow my mind a little bit, but we can talk more about that. I know we got lots of things to talk about when it comes to Charlotte and booking for WrestleMania, but we do need to get to the men's Royal Rumble, and I know there's a lot of things we need to talk about that, including what's going to be happening with Jay, and we're going to develop on that. What's going to, the Penta situation, and also just, what are our general thoughts on the men's Rumble when we come back with more wrestling talk on News Talk Saga 960 AM with Ringside Heat, back after these promotional considerations.
Under all the lights, with only everyone, he's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. This is me, Lex Tan at Lex Tan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat. Jose Tabuada at Tabuada93, Chico at Coco Collect, and Colin at Risen72 and at KanjiraCast. And that is his podcast about the Godzilla movies that have been offered to the world over the past, 7 decades, Colin?
7 decades, 70 years strong this year. Happy birthday, big guy.
Jeez, wow.
It's 1954.
So, wow. Wow. I knew Godzilla was around for a long time, but geez, I mean, I didn't know it was that long. And the first thing I knew about Godzilla was Dragonzord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh boy, you gotta listen to my podcast.
I definitely need to. I definitely need to listen to your KanjiraCast podcast.
That is back-to-back weeks of Lex saying something so random and essentially incriminating about Godzilla. to promote Colin's podcast. First, it was
It's
the
amazing
Austin
I'm still
Powers.
on the show.
First, it was the Austin Powers thing last week on Ringside,
Yeah.
and now it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Power
Oh
Rangers,
my
yeah.
lord!
Next week it's going to be Powerpuff Girls or something. I don't know.
Oh, geez. Hey, Tara Strong, great Canadian voice actress. You never go wrong with her. But
Oh, boy.
Colin, I know
Yeah.
that I know that you had a lot of you have a lot of things, a lot of thoughts about what you believe went wrong in the Royal Rumble, and we're going to start off with you for the men's Rumble.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I love Penta. AEW introduced me to Penta. One of the greatest things I got out of AEW was now being a Penta fan, and maybe the shirt, which is a pretty awesome shirt. But anyway, so hyped and happy for Penta. This is his first Rumble. This is great. He starts with Mysterio. I thought, fantastic. This can lead to the ultimate luchador rivalry. Why not? Start off with respect, but you know what? I'm the new luchador here now. You're 50. Time for you to leave. Let's go. This could be the start of it all. Then a mishap occurs. Of course it occurs because it's the Rumble. This kind of thing happened. What do? Cover it up. Couldn't believe it. Took me right out. The audible that should have happened was that, okay, he's out. It's a mistake. He's upset. You jumpstart your rivalry with Mysterio. And that saves it. Because why did he stay in there? What was the amazing spot that he got that he had to stay in there for? That's right, silence. Because all he did was stay off camera in the corner until he was finally eliminated. There was no reason to keep him in there and do this 42 minutes and then this whole thing with Ludwig on Monday where he was in there for 42 minutes and Ludwig was in there for 6 seconds or whatever nonsense, and then they have a feud. There was no reason not to honor the mishap. No reason at all. And don't give me the, it's the referee's final call. This isn't an actual sport. It's wrestling. It's the person in the back, whoever, Triple H, sure, I don't know, whoever said didn't pull the plug when they should have. That took me right out of the Rumble. I wouldn't shut up about it in the whole thing. Chico and I kept yelling at them. Anybody who came down to the ring, eliminate Penta now. Do it. Somebody do it. I was calling for people who are Teflon that cannot get in trouble to take him out. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be fine. Roman could have knocked him out. It'd be okay. Didn't do it. It was a useless thing to cover up. And then, it ruined the match. But I'm extremely happy for Jey Uso and kind of glad they didn't go with Cena, even though it messed up my beautiful booking that I had on the last show. But otherwise, I'm very ecstatic for Jey Uso because they actually did the unpredictable thing and put somebody new in the spot. So very happy for the ending, even though the match was ruined.
Okay, so let me just branch off of that. I will own up to the fact that during the stream, I was also equally, if not a little more bothered as Colin. I mean, I kept yelling at people to eliminate Penta. And I thought, wow, like it was a waste of a debut for a Rumble. Yeah. Okay. But where I finally turned away from that perspective is that I watched that portion of the Rumble. I watched it back, but this time with the intended commentary and the intended ambiance, as opposed to being on the live stream with you guys, which of course was fun. It makes a difference when you have the whole spectrum of audio and everything in front of you along with the broadcast. So it saved it for me. I mean, I was listening for what they would say immediately, and Wade Barrett, I gotta say, is the one that stood out for me that saved that moment when he insisted right from jump. He said, that was just 1 foot. And he said, like, I have laser sharp eyes or something. That was definitely just 1 foot. So when I look back at it now in its proper intended broadcast form without me yapping over it or, yelling over the broadcast, it was not as big a deal as I thought it was. If anything, the Kofi one was way more obvious, and they really, really had to honor that because he was outside, like he wasn't on the apron. I think he was on the floor.
It was
and
on
it just
Yeah, it was the floor, and then tried to save himself with a barricade before the
Yeah,
before the LED era. Yeah.
He was on the floor
Yeah.
just as much as Penta was on the floor. You're right. Correct.
No, I will say his left foot bounced so quick, and it was at an angle that I kind of like
No.
finally let it go in my head. Colin can hang on to
Colin,
it.
let
That's
him talk.
fine.
Colin, let him talk.
Yeah,
Colin,
no, that's fine. That's
let him
fine.
talk, yeah.
I got out of that. I got out of that mindset, and I then appreciated the Rumble match itself more. So I liked it way more in hindsight than in the moment. So I'm also glad that they put Jay on top. I was a little surprised because we all said Cena, but of course he was more so promoting his appearance in Toronto. Toronto, that's where I live.
Which now we are probably going to see a John Cena Elimination Chamber victory.
Yeah, which I wouldn't mind either. So I mean, we can go there eventually as we get closer to that event. But great Rumble match. I'm going to say the standout for me, if I had to pick one person, Jacob Fatu.
Oh yes. Oh, Jacob Fatu for sure.
Okay. I mean, kind of like the Chico said, I feel like in life in general, I have bigger things to worry about, like what brand is Canadian in grocery stores.
Oh,
Thanks, Jose. Look, I'm not gonna disagree that the moment sucked. Mistakes happen. It's not fun. They're not, especially when it comes to those kind of moments, especially with the new debut. But yeah, I think commentary I feel like was like, kind of purposely ignored because of what you saw, and again I look back at it as well so many times, and yeah, it was so quick that I think even after the fact, what was kind of interesting, at least from my perspective, and again even as well, like a couple of comments on Twitter, that because of how quick the camera was to kind of see to kind of see your way from the moment, it made you doubt, which is why the commentary line worked as well, like what Chico said, with with Wade saying, okay, laser focus or whatever. The presentation of the Rumble itself, I thought was fascinating. This is why I'm bringing this up. Was amazing. The sports side of sports entertainment was really shown at the Rumble. The stats on the bottom, who's left in, who's next to come in, how many people are active, all of it. I thought that was fascinating. I'm like, this is kind of cool. If I had to kayfabe the moment, for what it's worth, I'm adding on to this what Lex said, what we were talking about after the live stream went off the air, because we went in to talk about it. So these are mainly Lex's words, and I wanted to say the same thing. When it comes to these moments in sports in general, and again, I work in sport journalism, I see this every day. Even after a video review, calls are missed. I've seen a lot of calls in sports where they'll go to the review and it's something that's just so blatantly obvious in front of you. For example, like, hey, both feet are not one. Both feet are not out of bounds. Or no, he did hold on to that catch, or the puck, the ball did cross the line, and then the referees will come out and say, no, we looked at that from thousands of angles, and nope, just didn't count. Kayfabe is important for sure, yeah, and that kind of sucks. But ironically, kayfabe also saves you here. I think to add on to Chico's point, if the commentary could have, I think, saved it even further. They said, well, we went to a video review, we went to the production truck, and they also confirmed that it's 1 foot. And honestly, I think within that moment, after once number 3 came out, no, maybe not number 3, like by number 5 or number 6. I did forget about it, and I sat back and enjoyed the Rumble, and I think it was a very fun Rumble. Jay's surprise was amazing. I was so happy to see that. I'm like, wow, we were swerved. We don't get that very often. I'm laughing now because it was so funny to me. I show Speed's moment. Okay. Holy crap! Did he got murdered? He got murdered.
Oh, Braun Breaker just took him out.
And look, and yes, you took away a spot from a talent. So did Drew Carey. But no, like, look. He went in. It wasn't a long spot. He took a vicious bump that not many celebrity or non-WWE personnel would take. Nobody would do that. You're telling me that if I was to go in, like I say, if I was a popular streamer and he told me, oh, I'll take a spear from Braun Breaker, I'm going to be like, no, I don't want to get hurt. Speed said, bring it on. And then the flip on the table, he left with an ugly gash. He has some skin ripped off. The respect that I have for that guy is just over the top now. I was like, wow, like good on you for saying, give it to me. Like, don't be shy. Well done. I thought that, to me, that's one of the best celebrity appearances. Not the best. I still put Drew Carey's moment above everybody else's. Carey was fantastic. But for me, Speed was one of the best celebrity involvements I've ever seen. The Joe Hendry spot was fantastic. You brought up Trish Stratus' 25th anniversary. Cena came out at 23 because it's his 23rd and final year of wrestling.
And he's the GOAT.
And he's the GOAT as well. Oh, right. Michael Jordan. Oh, my God. That's right.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. I said that too. That added to it.
Layers.
Of course, Roman Reigns wears the Michael Jordan, the Air Jordan shoes himself, but that's just that's not a hero there.
Once again, another anticlimactic 30. But again, if we had to put on the kayfabe hat, because I know we love kayfabe here, that's the right person to put in at number 30, and that is the right person to eliminate Punk. I hate to say it, but he got the reaction that WWE wanted, to boo him because, oh my God, you just eliminated our number one pick to win this thing. There was a guy in a CM Punk sweater in disbelief. I hated it. I'm not saying I liked it.
Yeah.
But for kayfabe purposes, sucks to suck. That's what kayfabe should do. Moral of the story: the Penta moment. It happens. I can't. I really, really cannot just let that ruin the rest of the night for me. It really, for me, and I think to a lot of other people, really didn't at the end of the day. It happened. I forgot about it. I sat back and enjoyed the rest of the Rumble, and Jay's surprise as well.
Yeah,
took me out of it. I went on for too long, but Lex, I think I'm done there. Yeah.
But I will say this, that what was more entertaining than just than Penta, the idea of Penta having staying in or whatever like that. The more entertaining part for me was listening to Colin and Chico just whine and moan about it, and then just watching just watching X break down as well too, seeing like one says this and the other says this and everything. And personally, for me, I'm more on your side on that on that one, Jose, that like yes, I would say that it was too close to call, and for the benefit of the doubt, on one end for me it's like, okay, fine, if the referee doesn't say it, then okay, you know what, let's just let it go and let's see what happens with the rest of the match. However, I also do not understand where Colin's coming from. If that's the case, then he should be out as well. Like I'm of two minds about that, really. But what really confirmed things for me is when I got to see the next day, and I got to see a couple of my buddies, in the wrestling industry here in the Indies on Ontario. I tried bringing it up with them at dinner, and then it was like a 1-minute conversation. It's like, yeah, this happened. We're all just laughing about it, and we moved on to the next to the next topic of conversation. So to wrestlers themselves, it didn't seem like to be as big a big deal to them. And these guys are working in the industry trying to get to the WWE one day. And so I don't know what that says really, but it's an interesting perspective that I got to see from people who are actually working in the industry and actually putting their bodies on the line just in the same way that these guys and these girls in the Royal Rumble and the WWE and all these wrestling promotions are putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment. And hey, you know what? We appreciate it nonetheless. Even through the little screw ups and everything, we still appreciate the genre. We still appreciate the art of professional wrestling, sports entertainment, and happy to be part of this this ongoing saga of professional wrestling, and the fact that we're going to be going 70 days. That's it, 70 days until WrestleMania. And Chico's celebrating there with the balloons in his stream over there. But it's going to be an awesome 70 days. Laced in with a whole bunch of things that are going to be happening in AEW and TNA, which we can get to in the next few weeks coming up on Ringside Heat. But we got to take take off for the week here because we're out of time on the radio. Thank you to Jose, thank you to Chico, thank you to Colin, thank you to all of you for listening on the radio, on the podcast, and watching on YouTube. You can follow us at Ringside_Heat, and we will be back the next week with more great wrestling talk here on this station. Ringside Heat, we remember the things that you probably forgot.